Hi, this is Matt with AppliancePartsPros.com. In this video, we're going to show you how to troubleshoot the top 2 reasons why your range oven won't program. Stick around to the end of the video for some important safety tips that most people don't even know about. But before we begin, we're going to make sure the appliance is unplugged or the circuit breakers are off, so there's no chance of electrocution. The first thing to check is the touchpad. It's what you use to program the oven. The touchpad is what you actually press on to program the oven. It sends the information to the oven control board. There have been many designs over the years. They're usually part of the console or glued to the touchpad frame. They usually have a ribbon cable that connects it to the oven control board. This is different from an overlay, which is just glued to the face of the control board. They're usually located at the back of the range in the center of the control panel. If the range oven won't program, it could be that the touchpad has failed. The contacts inside the touchpad can fail, preventing it from communicating with the control board. Because there are so many different styles of touchpads, we can't show you how to test them all here. You'll have to get the tech sheet for your model and run the diagnostic test. In this example, you may have the F2E1 error code, so you'd have to go through the steps to test the touchpad. If the touchpad fails the test, it'll have to be replaced. If you need to order a part, simply go to AppliancePartsPros.com and type in your model number. Find your part on the easy-to-read diagrams and match it to the number below. Click on the part if you want to see more pictures of the item or watch its repair video. You can also scroll down to see DIY stories from customers like you, or ask a question in the Q&A section. Once you're ready, you can add the part to your cart. It's that easy. Most orders will arrive within 2 business days. The last thing to check is the oven control board. It controls the functions of the range. The oven control board is usually a computer board. It collects all the data from the sensors and switches and controls the functions of the range. It's usually mounted in the middle of the control panel on the range. If your range oven doesn't program, the oven control board may have failed and is not responding to the input from the touchpad. As always guys, hit those like and subscribe buttons now to help support us making more of these videos. There are a lot of different control boards out there, so we can't show you how to test them all. You're going to have to grab your tech sheet and follow the diagnostics or error codes to see if it's gone bad. In this example, if the display is dead, it would indicate a bad control board and you should just go ahead and replace it. If it's not dead, it could be giving you an error code showing that the board has failed or has a stuck key. For a stuck key, you'd have to look at the range to determine if you have a separate touchpad or just a plastic overlay. Most actual touchpads will have a wiring harness or a ribbon cable that connects it to the control board. Overlays are just glued onto the control board. If you have a separate touchpad, you'd have to do the test for it separately. If you have a plastic overlay and a shorted key error code, it means that the control board is bad. If the oven control board fails any of the tests, it'll have to be replaced. Now here are those safety tips we mentioned earlier. A lot of people are still using aluminum foil to protect their ranges from spills and grease buildup. Although it may seem like a good idea, you may not be aware of the dangers it can pose. Firefighters respond to over 170,000 kitchen fires per year, and failing to keep the range clean is linked to more than 13,000 of those. On electric cooktops, many people cover the drip pans with foil so they don't have to clean them, but this can cause moisture retention, making them rust even faster. It can also block airflow, reflect heat back into the elements, damaging them, or if the foil touches the element, it could be a shock hazard or start a fire. On gas cooktops, wrapping the grates, burner heads, or drip pans in foil can cause heat retention, carbon monoxide poisoning, as well as starting a fire. In general, you'll want to avoid lining the oven with foil because it could block air passages, causing heat buildup that causes poor cooking and increases the dangers of a fire. If the foil gets too hot, it could melt, damaging the oven lining or starting a fire. With electric ovens, putting foil under the element could cause heat to be reflected back into the oven, overcooking the food and possibly damaging the element. If the foil touches the element, it could become a shock hazard. In gas ovens, blocking air passages could affect the burner operation, causing poor cooking and carbon monoxide poisoning. You also don't want to completely cover an oven rack, as this will disrupt the airflow and cause cooking problems. You should only use a small pan on a rack several inches below the food you're cooking to catch drips. Due to these dangers, you don't want to use aluminum foil to try to keep the range clean. You should clean the oven and underneath the cooktop regularly to prevent grease buildup. So keep the foil off the range, keep it clean, and keep an eye on it while you're cooking. Once you take care of the problem, you can plug the appliance in and take it for a spin. Thanks for joining us for another troubleshooting video brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. Remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons now And if you have any questions or want to share how your repair went, leave a comment down below.